Now we'll get to our picks section. So I took a commanding 2. I was 2-2. You were 1-3. Now, truth, in advertising, the producers in control room want to penalize me a win for my awful pick of the Packers against the Saints. I won't allow them to do that. So it's still 2-2. No.
You take every win against the spread and you run with it. You take it to the bank. The figurative bank, the monopoly bank.
I did have the worst pick of the NFL, though, going with the Packers against Saints. All right, we'll start with the Browns-Texans. Browns, 12.5-point favorites. That is the largest favorite on the board in Week 2. I will let you go first. You are trailing this season-long contest. I'm 2-2. You're 1-3. What do you think in Browns-Texans? Browns 12.5-point favorites.
Well, Dave, I know you have a no whining rule, but before we go to Browns-Texans, I want to go back to Chiefs-Browns. Thanks a lot, Patrick Mahomes, for that failed 2-point conversion. Chiefs would have won by 6, and I would have covered on the -5.5. Would have been 2-2 instead of 1-3. But guess what? Same rule applies to me as I do to the teams. Coulda, woulda, shouldas don't matter. Bottom line is I am what my record says I am, 1-3. Regarding Browns-Texans, I'm looking at the score being low for the Texans, but the spread is just too big. And the biggest concern I have is the backdoor cover. And that's why I'm going to wind up taking the Texans plus 12.5. Before anybody screams at me, no, I am not predicting the Browns are going to lose. They are going to win, and they will have won handily. But what will happen, I believe, is similar to what happened with the Texans and Jacksonville in Week 1. The Texans were dominating. Jacksonville came back in garbage time to make it look even moderately respectable. I think the Browns will be in total control in the fourth quarter, and a backdoor cover, a late touchdown by the Texans gets them within 12.5.
I'm gonna go with the Browns. I think they cover pretty handily, and I will be surprised if even Jacksonville or the Texans rather can get the backdoor cover. I'm going with the Browns -12.5. I think they win this pretty convincingly. All right, let's go to your picks. That's the only one we have that's the same. So we'll go with, let me tee you up. You're going all AFC North here. So Raiders at the Steelers. Steelers at home, 5.5-point favorites. Who do you like in that one and why?
Well, the spread's a little bit too much. I wish it were less. But the Steelers are feeling good about themselves after beating Buffalo. They're at home. The Raiders, yeah, they beat the Ravens at home. That's great for them, but they got to travel, and it's going to be a hostile environment. I'm wondering about Josh Jacobs' toe, the super talented running back for the Raiders. How is he going to respond? So I think the Steelers are capable of winning this game by at least a touchdown. And that's why, I'm taking the Steelers minus the 5.5.
All right. We have Chicago hosting the Bengals. Bengals a win in overtime against the Vikings last week. Bears 2.5-point favorites at home. Who are you going with?
Well, at least for now, Andy Dalton is still the quarterback of the Bears. So to me, I know Dalton's a great guy, nice guy. He's got nothing but nice things to say about the Bengals. But deep down, you've got to believe that Dalton is extra motivated to beat the Bengals just because they're his former team. And, the Bears, they didn't look that great against the Rams, but they're also going to be at home, and they've got a team in front of them that they think they can beat. So I'm not going to say I love the Bears here, but I like them enough to cover the spread.
All right, and the Sunday night game, Chiefs at the Ravens. Ravens getting 3.5. Who you going with?
I'll take the home dog there. And listen, it gives me no pleasure. I want to see the Ravens lose. I hope I lose this pick 40-0. I hope the Chiefs just truck them, even though the Chiefs would then be on their way to a perfect season, basically. And The Browns would have to go through them in Arrowhead. But I want to see the Ratbirds lose. But I think giving them 3.5 in their building for their home opener is too much.
All right, so there you have the D-Man's picks in our Sports for CLE Pick 4. So I have the Browns. I'm going to go with the Broncos giving 6 to the Jaguars in Jacksonville. I was impressed by what the Broncos did against New York. I know the Jags covered against the Texans. That is a football team that I think is going to struggle. I think Trevor Lawrence will have all kinds of issues with Denver's defense. I like the Broncos giving Jacksonville 6 on the road. The Rams -4 at the Colts. Big fan of what Matthew Stafford did. I think Aaron Donald gets after Carson Wentz and the Colts. I like the Rams. I like the Rams a lot. Big buyers on that. I'm going to go Rams -4 in Indy. And then my final one, again, the Cardinals -4 hosting the Vikings. And again, Arizona with Kyler Murray, they looked fantastic against the Titans in Week 1, and the Vikings did not look good against the Bengals, losing in overtime. The Bengals had the better of that game for the most part of it, and I think the Cardinals' offense could put up a big number against Minnesota at home. So, D-Man, there we have it. I have a 1-game lead, but only Week 2. So, D-Man, you can listen to him on Indians pregame, 1100 WTAM 106.9. D-Man, as always, appreciate the time and the insight. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Dave.